Welcome back to 32 Ways to Connect. I'm Mary. We're on day 26, and today's theme is clearing disaster mind. Disaster mind, the concept of this and calling it that came from a dear friend, Heather Ashamara. Shout out to her in a teaching, and I'm grateful for it. So, first, let's define what is disaster mind. Let's do this by giving an example. So, say you're getting dressed in the morning. You're getting ready for your day. Maybe you're leaving for work. You're going to meet a friend. And say you're pretty rushed going out the door. You get in your car. You're maybe a mile up the road and you have this thought, did I lock the door? I don't know if I locked the back door. The back door might be open. Well, if I didn't lock the back door, maybe there could be a band of raccoons that ends up getting in the house. And when the band of the raccoons gets in the house, they're going to destroy all my furniture. And if I don't have my furniture, where are people going to sit? And that means I'm going to lose all my friends. I'm not going to have any friends anymore. Right? So it's one thought, one worry, one concern, whatever, fill in the blank, a thought. And it ends up like a runaway train, the energy of it, going to this bigger place of disaster. So going from did I lock the back door to suddenly I'm going to lose all my friends, right? And it can happen for all of us with various things like in a split second, we don't even realize it. Disaster mind does interfere in our connection and our capacity that in that moment to come back to ourselves, to take a breath, to do whatever is necessary to come back into the present moment can help us to stay connected in our lives. So, say you decide that you're running too late, you're going to go ahead and meet the friend at lunch and roll the dice, take your chances on the band of raccoons that might break into your back door, right? And as you're sitting at lunch, your friend is talking to you and you can't hear anything that's happening, that's going on with them, because the only thing that you can think of in that moment is these really outrageous visuals that your mind's coming up with of like 10 raccoons on your couch eating it and having a party. Maybe they're making themselves a drink, right? So the concern, the worry, the sense of disaster mind can actually interfere in the moments when we're trying to be in conversation and connecting with other people, right? It interferes in our connection of a bigger trust with life. Sometimes our minds go to places that are completely unrealistic in the moment, but we're totally bought into it. The sensationalness of it, right? The concern, the worry. So at the root of this, our mind's job is to help keep us safe and to think of every scenario it possibly can that we need to be careful or worry about or have some kind of caution over in the spirit of trying to keep us safe. So when we understand the root or the intent of something, it's easier for us to stay maybe more objective or more grounded, right? So when your mind is doing the thing where it's going into these elaborate, unrealistic fantasy scenarios around things, coming back and going, okay, with a sweet voice, having a sweet relationship with our minds. A lot of us just have this sense like if only we just stopped thinking, if only we could just control our minds, right? There's a certain aggression that we take with our minds that isn't really helpful. And so approaching the thoughts or approaching really an aspect of you with a sense of gentleness and understanding of going, okay, I see this thought has gone completely awry. Coming back to your breath, right? So instead of enacting more frustration, more irritation up here, coming back to here. And the number one question is, what do I need to do right now? What do I have control over right now? And even more important, what's actually happening right now? I'm sitting at lunch. I have my friend in front of me. So what's necessary for me to do to take care of myself, right? Do I need to stop the lunch or reschedule and go home and check the back door? Is there a neighbor that I can call? Or once when I'm sitting with myself, I'm breathing, do I recall like, oh yeah, actually I do remember locking the back door. So it doesn't matter what is necessary or what you need to do in order to care for yourself in the moment. It's the process of slowing down and stopping the runaway train from going, or allowing the energy to get much, much bigger than it needs to be. So coming back to the original place of focus, taking a breath, and in the moment when we're in certain overwhelm, once the train has started moving in our minds, breath might be the only thing that we can do in that moment. So what's true right now? I'm breathing. Got it. Now what's necessary or what's next or what's actually happening. Another place we do this is when we're going to have a conversation with another person. Maybe we're worried about the conversation. Maybe we don't know how it's going to go. Maybe we're going to have to ask for something or set a boundary with someone. And some of the times, this is another way we can go on a train or into a sense of disaster mind in our minds, thinking about how the other person is going to respond. So, time out, it can be really helpful to kind of plan out what you want to say. Don't get me wrong, right? Getting organized in your thoughts, feeling into yourself what's true, what's important, right? Getting a plan in place and letting go of what the other person's going to say. Because the truth is, what's true is you don't know what they're going to say. But what we tend to do is imagining different scenarios and then starting to lose lots and lots of energies and the drama of it. That's only happening within our minds. So, where also in those places can we begin pulling our energy back in, taking a breath, what's actually happening? What do I need to do in this moment in order to take care of myself, take care of the situation, and feel prepared or at ease or even cautious in all the ways that help nurture and help me feel safe in my world. Okay. So clearing the disaster mind definitely will help your connection. It also helps our connection with ourselves. We're not going into those places, right? How much of the time, do we lose our sense of presentness or wonder with life because we're so engrossed in something that's not actually happening in the present? So again, breathing that back in. The card I pulled today is the Queen of Cups, and that just tells me, in short, that coming back to checking in with emotionally how you're feeling, what your needs are, and going back even to the video that I talked about having a daily check-in and asking yourself what you need. This feels like the love bomb or that warm blanket that can really help hold you during some of these situations. Is having the capacity to drop in and see what's actually going on and what it is that you need. And it could look like any number of ways, right? So finding out what's true for you. Take what's useful, dismiss what's not, as always. And I hope to see all of you very soon. Big love. Take care. Bye bye.